Hello guys, Tree Climber 8 back here. I'm at my test world. Today I'm going to be showing you another ComputerCraft tutorial. This one will be about touchscreens, a very interesting and useful concept that I just figured out how to do recently. So, that's a big tree. I believe you are a redwood from Natura. See another one over there generating, and there's another one, and another one. They're big, like they're going above cloud level, but that is besides the point. So, to get started, we want a advanced computer, which is the same recipe as a normal computer, except instead of iron, it's gold because it's fancy. Same thing with the monitor, just normal redstone, and a redstone lamp. So, computer there, redstone, redstone, lamp. And we'll put the advanced monitor up there. So, what we're pretty much going to do is we're going to put two buttons on this monitor that when we right click them, we'll turn that lamp on and off. So, I'll just go in here, create a new program. I'll just call it touch. So, first thing we're going to want to do is, well, do this. Mouse width equals 0. Mouse. There we go. That's pretty much setting the mouse width and height to 0 every time so it refreshes it. It pretty much clears it so it can accept a new input for each of those. So now we're going to wrap the monitor. Equals or wrap top. Just one thing I'd like to point out now, I do not have this memorized. I have a second monitor with this just typed up in Notepad. I'm just going to type it over from and add in some explanations for it. Two reasons. One, I'm not too good at memorizing some of this stuff. And two, I'm even worse at spelling a lot of it. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but some of it. So after that, we'll do a m.clear. This is pretty much the same as monitor, but I just have it as M to make it shorter to type. And also I'm not good at spelling, like I said. See? Cursor. There we go. Also doesn't help that my keypad kind of has smooth thingies for the letters. That's what it was. So to set that to 1, 1, and width and height equals m.get size. One thing to point out with this stuff here, if you're new to this, Lua, and I think a lot of programming languages, the first word when you're combining words like not set size, get size, but the first word is always lowercase. All the words after that are capital. Oh yes, that's something else with the advanced monitor. You can click and set the flashy thingy that tells you where you're typing. Cursor, I think. Anyway, so then we'll set the background color and set background. Keep forgetting about that. And for the British people out there, the way you spell color, I believe, still works. We'll do lime. That's a nice color to stand out against black. Yeah. Set. Now we'll go 2, 2. That is where the upper left corner of the first button is going to be. So then we'll do m.right. Nope. You see it still counts the spaces, so our button will start at 2, 2, and it'll be 5 long. And it will be the color lime, which is a bright green because of this line here. So then we'll do m.set cursor pulse. We'll do 2, 4, was it? Yeah, that's what it was from this size monitor. You can figure out what monitor it is by doing another program, which I'll show you. Now, we'll do edit size. It'll just be m dot per, how do I spell peripheral? Yeah. Not like that. God, I'm terrible at spelling. So do that, m dot get size, and then, oh, nope, we almost forgot about that. There we go. And print w print h. So that there is pretty much saying it'll set W and H as the size of the monitor, and that's just telling it which side the monitor is on. Saved and exited, now we'll just do size. What do you mean? Oh, oopsies. There we go. There we go. So, W is the width, and 5 is the height. So, that's what it is. It is 7 wide and 5 tall. So now that we know that, we'll go back to edit touch. Oh, another thing about these advanced ones is, as you can see with here and stuff, they color code things. That can get really useful. So now here we'll continue where we left off, and write by writing the second button, which we defined at 2, so we'll be starting at the same place as the on one, but 4, so it'll be below it, which is a bit odd if you think about an XY plane. So now we have our off button there, still 5 long. Alright, so then we'll just set our background colors back to black. Not sure if this is necessary, but you can never know. And the 2 parentheses there I believe are necessary colors. I believe those are necessary. I think I tried them with it just 1 and it didn't like that. There we go. Needs to be colors there. So then, now here, before I get into the part that actually does the touch thing, we're gonna need to do something up top here to actually figure out where the thing is, where you clicked, and if that's a button there or not. So we're going to define a function. I like to define my functions up top. You could define them anywhere, and you notice that to say it's a function, it turned yellow. So now here I'll just do click check. You can name it anything you want. Just make sure you have these 2 things here after in the open parentheses and close parentheses. That defines it as a function. Same as this get size here, that's a function. Same as clear, wrap, write. Those are all functions. And they're defined by the open parentheses and the closed parentheses. So if That also becomes yellow. Very nice. Mouse width is greater than 1 and mouse width is less than 8 and mouse height 2, then, so pretty much what this is saying here is if the mouse width, which is at default 0, 0, which is like up here, not really on the screen because up here would be 1, 1, here is like 0, 0 or something like that. If it is less than 1 and greater than, if it's greater than 1 and less than 8, which our thing starts at 2 and goes to 7. So pretty much if it's 2 to 7 and it's at height level 2, which this one is at, then RS, short for redstone, set output, that's the left. Don't forget these. So pretty much just saying is if the mouse width, if where you clicked is greater than 1 and less than 8, which would pretty much be with how this functions, I believe. I don't think it does in decimal places. So pretty much if it is 2 to 7 and it's at height level 2, then if you turn on the redstone signal coming out the left side. And then we'll do one, nope, then do end, and then, so that's that if then statement there. Mouse width greater than 1 and notice here I'm typing the same thing because the other button's at the same place except for this. It's at 4. So pretty much they're in the exact same place except this one here is 2 lower. I can't spell. So what this line here is telling it is if I clicked somewhere between 1 and 8 and at level 2, then send a redstone signal out the left side. This one is if I clicked somewhere between 1 and 8 and at level 4, shut off the signal coming from the left side. So now here, don't forget end, and we will end the function. Functions are nice because you can pretty much take all this here instead of having to type it out one time, well, multiple times, you can just type in this. It's really nice, really easy, but you have to have it defined in this function up here in the same program. You don't necessarily have to have it at the top. I like it at the top because it just makes it look a bit neater. Oh, also the scroll wheel works too in here. That's really nice. So now we will do repeat. So that's saying pretty much repeat everything in here until I write whatever and until is, which I'll get to. So we'll do repeat event P1, P2, P3 equals os dot poll event. So this here is saying repeat event P1, P2, P3, all those there, each one of these things here, equals an os.pull event, which we will define in the next line. If event this has to be monitor, it can't be M. I thought it would be M since I defined the monitor up top as M, but it turns out it has to be monitor. There we go. So if the event is monitor touch, then all of these will equal that, will equal whatever data it collects from that. So now here we're saying that the mouse width equals P2, the mouse height will equal P3. So whatever data it collects for P2 will be the mouse width. I'm assuming that would be kind of the width thing. Same thing for the height, except height. And then it'll do click, check. So this click check here is the function we defined way up here. Make sure you copy that correctly. So then it'll set P2 to the mouse width, P3 to the mouse height, and then it'll run the function up there. And then back. This is something that makes it, doing this here doesn't do anything to the code, but when you're reading your code, it looks a lot nicer if you have like if-then statements, repeat statements, functions, all that kind of stuff indented in. A default is like 3 spaces. So now here, until. So this here closes that repeat. So repeat until event equals char, which is a keyboard event. So if you type like a letter in, so pretty much it'll be repeat this here until you press X. You can set that as any letter. I just chose X. It's kind of close by where the WASD is. So we will save this, exit, and we will do touch. Nope. How big is that? 25, what do you mean? 9, 25. There used to be a comma there. Interesting. You wanted a then. What do you mean by a then? You mean this. Is this what you mean? See, this can be frustrating about programming. It's not too terribly specific at times. I will be back to figure out something. Maybe. Okay, I'm back. Figured out what I did wrong. It wanted the then at the previous line of 24. That's why the word can be complicated sometimes. It wants it then. I should have seen it because it had an if there. Don't know why I didn't see it. So, now it hopefully should work. Especially if we got that far without finding an error. Maybe I'm wrong. So it's working now. No, screw it. Nope. New. Not those. Turn off rain. Can't stand the rain. It's too loud. One reason I hate it. There we go. Oh. Those clouds up there and those big trees and that one there are all added by the Natura mod. Just thought I shouldn't let you in on that. Anyway, it works. Well, hopefully. It does. Yay. So as you can see, it detected that we clicked on this button that we wrote and turned on the redstone. Now it turns it off. On, off, on, off. I won't try left clicking, especially in creative mode. So, yeah, we've defined our button at this very specific level. You can make it bigger by just changing the size. And if you see here, I pressed X and it died. Maybe not the way I wanted it to, but it still, I guess, quit programming or quit it, whatever it was doing. So, to make the buttons different sizes, we can just change these around. We can also throw in a m dot, what was it? M dot set size, then open parentheses. I think it can go in between 1 and 5 close parentheses. It'd be this here, m dot set size like 2. It'd then be about twice as big as that. So let's clear that out. Now to show you like what I mean by making it bigger, we can defy the laws of physics here a tad bit. You see, those are the little puny buttons. I want something a bit bigger. So now here we'll just go right around here. Looks like a good nope. Right around here looks like a good spot. We'll just do m dot set size, set text size. That's what it was. Gotta be a bit specific. We'll just do 2. Right. Almost forgot you could do that. And it doesn't like this. Text scale, I think it is. Yeah, those text scale. Now you can see that they're bigger. But, yeah, it doesn't work on a normal monitor because they're too big. So if we defy the laws of physics a tad bit again, and we have to restart it because our off button has disappeared. There it is. And now the button's bigger, so we have a bigger area to hit. See? So, that was a tutorial on how to do touch screens. They have a wide use in ComputerCraft. And now that you know how to do them, they're actually quite simple. They don't require too much of code. Probably the most tedious thing about it is setting up where you want the buttons. That could be a bit tricky. You're going to have to count and all that stuff. So, worst case scenario, just mess around with it. And if your buttons start overlapping, give more space between them. All right. So, I now code how to do this. All right. Tree Climber 8. Bye.